Well, it's good to be in front of you. It's good to be back, and I look forward to working with you this season. This football team has come a long way. It's been a tumultuous and a rough ride during my first season, but those difficulties are really a comma and not a period. I look at this football team and I say, man, we've worked hard to be better. I've had to make some staff changes along the way, and I'm really excited about what's in store for this football team. We're a year older, you're smarter, and a year better. But more than anything else, I believe that we've been able to make the right changes for this football team. When I look at our staff across the board, we had an opportunity to make 4 tremendous hires this offseason. Those hires, first of which is Andy Ludwig. Andy is probably one of the brightest and smartest offensive coordinators in the country. I believe what he does and what he's been able to do with our kids in terms of identity is huge. We've been able to move from a team that thinks that they have a chance or an opportunity to be successful to believing that that's the expectation. And so I truly believe that he's going to continue to make this football team grow and be better. James Dobson, our strength and conditioning coach, has done a tremendous job of creating a foundation of excellence in strength and conditioning. Our guys are bigger. We look like an SEC football team. A year ago, I couldn't have said that about ourselves, and I thought we were a little undersized, and I thought we got pushed around. But in looking at where we've been able to come under his leadership and with the challenges that he's presented to our football team, we are better. And then Cortez Hankton, our new receivers coach, is a tremendous addition along with Mark Mattioli, who's going to be working with our secondary and safeties. Those guys are 4 tremendous hires, and I'm confident about who we are and what we're doing. As I look at our football team, we need to be more competitive in 2015. You know it, I know it. We watched the games. We were able to look at the schedule. But in looking at this football team, some things that I saw coming out of 2014 were that we weren't as competitive as we wanted to be, and so we had to figure out how to measure that. And we were able to measure that with a term that we call RTI. And for us, that stands for relentless, tough, intelligent. Those are all measuring factors that move towards competition. And as I looked at our RTI factor and what we've been able to do over the last 7 or 8 months, it's been tremendous. This group competes at everything that it does. And when you talk about relentless, you're talking about an ability to play 4 quarters, 60 minutes every play. That's spring, that's workouts, that's a lifestyle. Okay, but you got to commit to a lifestyle, so that's what relentless is. When you talk about tough, you're talking about size, ability, strength, so that's good. And I think our guys have made strides. And then the last part of that would be really when I look at us is our football team needs to be better. We turn the ball over too much, too many penalties. And when you look at our football team, we have to make sure that we take care of the football and we're better in third down efficiency, red zone, what have you. So this football team is going to be better. We're better because of what we've been able to do, the things we've been able to acquire, but more than anything, the change in culture. So with that being said, I'll open it up to questions.
Questions for Coach Mason. We'll start on the left side here, the third row.
What are some of the things you might have learned after a first year, a pretty rough first year, that you can take into this upcoming season?
Play one quarterback. As you look at it, you're always searching for that guy, your leader, the guy who can lead men. And I believe consistency at the quarterback position makes us a better football team. First of all, I believe identifying who you are and being able to build confidence in your identity by how you play and what you do is really at the forefront of what we need to be in 2015. And this football team's been fun to coach. I had to make some changes, not only in staff, but I let some players go. And what we've done on this football team is just move forward. And I think sometimes when you shake up the team, you get everybody's attention. And whether it be the staff changes, whether it be what we've been able to do with our structure, our strength and conditioning, it all leads towards confidence and everybody being on the same page. So year one went extremely fast, and where we are now is a full light year away from where we were a year ago.
Left side, front row.
Coach, I mean, when making that decision to let some of those coaches go, I mean, was there any struggling with that a little bit of, hey, you know what, it's year one, let's kind of stay the course here and, you know, really believe in what we have here?
There's always a struggle when personal relationships are involved. You know, these were men that I had either played for or coached under, and that's a tough thing to do, but that's part of the job I've been entrusted with. I got 105 young men and 11 coaches to be able to think about. And, you know, with that, I've been charged to make sure that this program moves in the right direction. So it's not about being right, it's about getting it right. I felt like we had to move in a different direction, get it right, and every day since then, every day since the Tennessee game has been about, you know, doing whatever it takes on a daily basis to be competitive. And that was part of it.
Other questions for Coach Mason? Left side, third row. Go ahead.
You talked about bringing in Andy Ludwig as a coach. How is that going to help the team, especially with you being able to put your focus more so on the defensive side?
Well, what Andy gives me, and really what I was looking for when I took this job, was somebody I can trust on the offensive side of the ball to establish the same characteristics and identity that we have on the defensive side of the ball. Again, it's about a mentality. If you look at Andy Ludwig's been successful wherever he's been. I can remember when Andy was at Utah and they played Alabama in the Sugar Bowl, okay, with a great win and victory with a football team that was probably lesser talented than Alabama. But when you talk about equipped, and they were equipped and they made a great statement about what college football is. When you look at Andy being at Wisconsin, I coached against Wisconsin in the Rose Bowl. Andy had just come on staff and we didn't get a chance to play each other the following year, but you know, Andy at Wisconsin was able to take an offense and really build it around, you know, what their strengths were. You know, the strength wasn't the quarterback, but he taught the quarterback how to make good decisions and give the ball to Melvin Gordon. That's pretty smart. So I think as he's been able to look at our football team, he's realized that there's some tools to work with. There's some pieces here that lead us to think that we can be a pretty good offense. But what we have to have is somebody to manage the offense and make sure that the ball gets distributed and that we don't beat ourselves. So I think in doing that, we're going to be a better team.
We'll take one or two more. Let's go here on the right side on the front, and then we'll go to the second row and we'll wrap it up. Go ahead.
Coach, we had a chance to listen to Ralph talk a little bit. Big contributor as a young guy. Do you think he can repeat that feat this year, and who else will contribute back there?
You know, Ralph Webb is a tremendous competitor. He stepped on the scene last spring, and I said it coming out of my first spring there because Ralph had a 79-yard run. I can remember as clear as day. He's talented and he's competitive and he doesn't say boo. In this day and age where everybody wants to point to themselves and fist bump and you know point to the number and the name on the back of the jersey, he's a throwback. So Ralph needs to be better in being able to pass pro and be a target out of the backfield, and that's where he's tried to take his game. That's where Andy's challenged him to take his game to, and I believe that's what he's going to do. To really offset him, there's a young man that nobody's really talking about, Dallas Rivers. Dallas almost averaged 4.7 yards a carry a year ago as a true freshman. So I believe at 6 foot 228 pounds or whatever he is, he may be 228, 230, whatever he is. I believe that we have our own version of thunder and lightning. So with that being the case, I feel good about where we are at the running back position, but it's really led by Ralph Webb, and I believe Ralph has done a great job of showing our football team, along with some of the other senior leaders, where we got to go, and that's worked.
This will be our final question for Coach Mason. Go ahead.
Derek, you said you wanted to settle on one quarterback this year. Is that something that has to be determined before September 3rd, or are you comfortable giving it a game or two to kind of see what your best option is? I'm
not going to give it a game or two. We're going to know, internally, we'll know going into game week exactly what that's going to look like, but I'm not putting a timetable on it. Here's what I know. Johnny McCrary played well for stretches during during last season. Wade Freeback is a tremendously talented quarterback with big-time arm potential. But it's about managing the game and making us better. It's about decision-making, and both of those guys have shown that they have the ability, but we need consistency. And with consistency, you get confidence. So I'm excited to see exactly where we're headed.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.